All right. Hey, everyone. Thanks for tuning in here. So, not surprisingly, there's some crazy action. Wow, look at that. There's some crazy action going on in the oil markets. So, people got freaked out because of what's going on, not surprisingly so. And now the whole freak out, which I think is kind of weird because, considering P. Diddy is on trial for freakouts, it's kind of gross or whatever. But look at this. This is a perfect example of where things are contrary to what people are thinking. And what happened here is this thing in Israel with Iran was so widely anticipated. People took positions before the news came, right? Before the initial bombing. And then the market just kind of ran out of buyers. So now we're going lower. Wow, this is really kind of amazing. This is why you really need to forget the news and just listen to the market. So I think we're probably going to find some support around 63, 64, and maybe rally a little bit. But if you remember the Valero trade I talked about, this is kind of interesting because I was getting ready to shut this thing down because I thought oil was going to go higher. But as it turns out, we didn't get above that resistance. We didn't get to my level to get stopped out. And now we're on the downside. So I think this is going to be a profitable trade. And in the post market here, I mean, we're like within a point of me covering. So I made some money on buying puts here. Now, and I know some of you did too, which is awesome. Now, why, right? Did I know what was going on in the oil market? Of course not. No one's that smart. But when I look at a chart, you don't need to be that smart to make money. And believe me, some of the smartest or some of the most successful traders I know are not the sharpest, uh, tools in the shed. Some of the smartest people I know are have a hard time trading. I do a lot of coaching and trading with people these days, and I'm telling you, doctors, engineers, they're the hardest people to teach because they overthink it. The easiest people to teach are entrepreneurs because they look at it in terms of like it's a business. They don't overthink it. All right, so look at that. You know what? I'll bet you my limit order actually got triggered. What was today's low trade? 136. All right, so we're getting close. I guess I didn't get triggered, but we're getting close. Now, if you don't trade oil futures, which I don't think you do, I mean, I don't, but there's a way to get exposure here if you use the USO ETF. This is an ETF that's designed to track the price of oil. And now look at that. I mean, look at the move we had here today, down 8%. This is a really good example of why you have to think skeptically and not listen to the news. Because if you're listening to the news, right, and it's kind of hard not to because it's everywhere, well, you would have thought, oh, the world's on the verge of World War III, oil is going to new highs, blah, blah, blah. But this is just an incredible example of how the market can act completely different than the general consensus thinks that it's going to. So the moral to the story is to not watch the news and just to pay attention to the market. And I mean, I hope that this is a signal that this war over there is over. I hope that the attack was so devastating that it's over already. I mean, that's what I hope, but I don't know. That's what the market's telling us, but and the scary thing is the market is never wrong. So anyway, all right, everybody, I got to end this before I go into some kind of a long term, whatever. And I will see you tomorrow, everybody. Thank you so much.